Ah, Archon. Impeccable timing. We've just received a letter from Lord Hien. He writes the Domans are coordinating their efforts with Kujin to maintain a constant watch over the Red. By staying on the lookout for the signs of the crystal hoarding the like, they mean to nip any summoning attempts in the bud, thereby satisfying the conditions for peace set down by the ambassador. For the Guardian's part, the five Polaris have sent word that a vessel bearing Doman conscripts is soon to arrive in Yansha. It seemed that the prisoner exchange is to proceed as planned. Litian requests your presence, and I share his view that you should be on hand at this critical juncture. According to the letter, Yotsuya's memory is yet to return, so it looks like she'll be living out the rest of her days in Doma. Assuming the ambassador means to honor the agreement, of course. Before we get to that, however, I think it would be wise to assess her condition one last time. If the Domans have missed any change in her mental state, however slight, it would be better if Asahi weren't the one to spot it. Agreed. Let us make straightaways for the Enclave then. Lord Hien will be waiting. I trust you'll cope in our absence, Totoro. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Just be sure to come back safely. Exit. Let me, we're just going here anyway. So it takes place there. The west was right about there. Oh, right. I'm underwater. Where's my exit? There's an exit. Don't ask how a firebird flies around underwater. The answer is magic. Back to the trial for a bit. Hey. Hey. Furi. Hey, Tanuki. Let me in. No need to explain. Genbu's told me all about you and the thrashing you gave him and the others. Need me to escort you back to the temple? Yes, please. Genbu. Genbu, I beat up Byaku. He's, totally under control now. Done, Archon. Well done. You have done my friend a great kindness, one we shall not soon forget. What are you two up to? Exactly did you ask Soroban to do? You needn't be so concerned. You know well the power of the Kojin's incantations, yes? I have but asked Kojin Sorbonne to undergo a little training that he might assist us with the maintenance of the wards. He has demonstrated a remarkable aptitude thus far, in fact. I'm killing them with kindness, yes. How much longer must I continue? Concentrate. Less chatting, more chanting. Full energy. It's been far too long since we had the pleasure of such company. Well, since Tenzin, I imagine. Been meaning to ask, what sort of man was Tenzin? He just learned of the stories. You've already said they were half wrong. Serious, are you? Very good, very good. Far too many people have no interest in the past. To say what to say. Well, for one, Tenzin was blessed with the selfsame power Archon possesses. The Echo, I believe it is sometimes called. Alas, as you probably know from personal experience, such individuals are often regarded with suspicion, if not outright fear. Nevertheless, Tenzin was a generous soul who was ever eager to aid his fellow man. Indeed, he died as he lived, fighting for the sake of those he loved. You see, when he faced Koryu, we four lords were quite young and weak, not even auspices in truth. And we could but look on helplessly as the two dragged one another to the brink of death. With the last of his strength, Tenzin imprisoned the mortally wounded Koryu. He then bequeathed to us the sacred treasure, crystal which shone with an otherworldly light. Oft have I wondered if this crystal was the source of the powers we would grow to possess. Would we still become the Four Lords without it? In my heart, I think not. Built this temple to strengthen the wards and safeguard the Ruby Sea in Tenzin's stead. His legacy would be ours, and so it has been to this day. And so it will continue to be, but only if we can rely upon you to quell the Mitama of our comrades. That can wait, though. Yako needs his rest, and so do you, Archon. In that case, it'd probably be for the best if I went back to Kugane. There's no telling what mischief that man will get up to in my absence. I, too, should take my leave. Doubtless I am needed in Tamamizu. Oh, you're not going anywhere. Your training is far from finished, my friend. But I can't possibly refuse the request of the Four Lords, can I? I hate to impose upon you, Archon, but perhaps you can go to Tamamizu in my stead? It may be some time before I'm permitted to return home. Once more to Tamamizu. To be fair, you beat up and defeated the angry part of him, so the not angry part of him was allowed to continue existing. Sorbonne will stay with Gangboo for a time. How wonderful to hear. I have no doubt he will make the most of this blessed opportunity. Oh, I have another missive for you. It was delivered personally by an unusual cat. An auspice, I presume? You're welcome to come and go from the temple as you like. For he will remain at his post above ground, you need only seek him out. I should be glad if you take him up on his invitation and look in on Sorbonne every now and then. After all, he is in essence our representative there. Pleasure as ever to see you, my friend. Or that I could say the same for Soroban. He is yet to return to Tamamizu. So I can only assume he is still busy undergoing Genbu's rigorous training. Hello? Hello? Archon, is my link pearl working? So unreliable, these little things. I'm gonna pay a visit to Trizon Temple to see Soroban. Give him a treat to keep his spirits up. If you're available, you should come too. I hope you haven't forgotten how to get here. There, but in case you have, look for the cute animal trying to look like a guard on duty in the middle of the volcanic island. I was, of course, not privy to your conversation just now, but on the off chance you are bound for Raizen Temple, give Soroban and Genbu my regards. Definitely not privy to my conversation. Nope, nope. Back to the temple. With all the cute little animals. Hey, definitely not a cute little animal standing guard. How you doing? That looks safe. I'm not even allowed to go down there if I wanted to. Let me in. Well met, great adventure. You'll come alone this day? What of the urchin girl I recall nipping at your heels? That's Tataru. Tataru. Ta-ta-ru. And I'll thank you not to forget it, or else you'll get no takoyaki from me. Oh my, that would be most unfortunate. My sincerest apologies. I shall endeavor to remember little urchin Tataru. Of course, your name I will not soon forget, for you saved my dear friend Byakko from descending into madness. It is good that you're here, Archon. Soroban has made great strides in his training. It is true, but I believe we need to consider more drastic methods. Though he is not without potential, Soroban, as he is, simply lacks divinity. Should we carry on as we are, he may not be ready when we have need of his strength. As with Byakko before, there will come a time when we must confront Seiryu and Suzaku, and quell the raging Arimatama within them. Accordingly, we must use every means at our disposal, no matter how dangerous, to ensure we are prepared. No matter how dangerous? What exactly do you have in mind? There is no need for fearful trembling and withdrawing into one shell. All I would have you do is open a box. Oh, is that all? Well, I've opened my fair share of boxes. But know that it is no ordinary box you must open. It is a tamate bako of geomancy, sacred vessel which harbors the very power of time itself. Yet you say there is no need for fearful trembling? This box sounds terribly dangerous. To what end would you have me open it? That you may bathe in its temporal magics and age 1,000 years in an instant. That you may undergo the change and become an auspice, albeit until the magics dissipate. You have me become an auspice like the Four Lords? Didn't you come across one of those Tamade Baku and Shisui of the Violet Tides? You did, didn't you? I'm aware of similar relics in the possession of the Rhine. However, their magics alter only the appearance of those exposed. A mummer's trick, a glamour. Altogether unlike the phenomenal power of the Tamado Baku we seek. Knowing that this is no legend, but incontrovertible truth, for the one who created the Tamado Baku of geomancy was a fellow auspice. Like many of us, he had lived long enough to see comrades become consumed by the Aramitama, see them descend into madness and lay waste to the lands they had sworn to protect. And like many of us, he had had no choice but to put an end to their rampages. This auspice knew full well that he was destined to share their fate, and so, before he too fell from grace, he resolved to craft the Tamado Baku of geomancy. And when his work was complete, he bathed in its magics, until he was no more. By the kami, he chose to die while his mind was still his own? Say, once the true potential of the box was understood, that it could bring death to an auspice, it was decided that it should be placed under lock and key in the Swallow's compass, until we had need of it. However, the grand mausoleum of King Ganon has been abandoned to the Shikigami, forever bound to its halls as guardians, and only a warrior of surpassing strength can hope to overcome their trials. Let me at him. Steel yourself, Sorbonne, until the moment Archon returns with the Tamade Baku of geomancy. You must train like you have never trained before. Yes, of course. So, zip down there. Do 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 do. One are you? Oh, you're the little weasel. Oh, hey, you made it. Finally. Been waiting here forever and a day, but hey, it's not like we've got a potential calamity to worry about or anything. Anyway, I've already taken care of the wards sealing the tomb's entrance, so you're free to go in and get the box. But whatever you do, don't open it. Oh, and one more thing. I'm sure they told you about the Shikigami, but forgot to mention that the box itself is guarded by one of us. Tough bugger in half. But you're pretty tough bugger yourself, huh? You gave Bakyo what for, after all? Just don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, that gives us access to the Swallow's Compass. Is the Swallow's Compass? Ah, a dungeon. Okay. So next step and not unlocked, and hey, we're basically right here already. What's up? Yeah, let me in. Let me in. Yep, let me in. I see my letter has reached you across the Ruby Sea. Thank you for coming so swiftly. Though I wrote at some length on the subject of the forthcoming exchange, there was one other matter I neglected to mention. Concerns Gosetsu. As you may have observed, he returned for his ordeal rather the worse for wear, despite his best efforts to conceal his condition, or perhaps because of them. He recently collapsed. Good gods, is he alright? Confined to bed and grumbling without cease, but he has shown signs of recovery. He made me promise not to tell you, lest you worry unduly, which was all very well when you weren't here. Now that you are, however, I think it high time you received some visitors. Might you spare him a moment? Yotsu has scarce left his side, and imagine you're curious to see what has become of her as well. Visit him at once. Archon, Alizair, shall we?
Open wide now.
Pleased to you. I'm not so frail that I cannot feed myself.
Weird how you only said that when the door opened.
I'm weary of the taste of gruel.
You don't like it? Can I fetch you something else?
Aye, wine. Or if that is not wholesome enough, I don't know. A sweet persimmon from Namai. I enjoyed them in my youth.
A persimmon?
Nay, pay me no mind. I am full. Besides, we have guests.
I hope we are not interrupting your meal. We had heard you were confined to bed and thought you might welcome some visitors.
Confined to... A gross exaggeration.
Is it,
A trifle drained from my exertions, perhaps, but with a little rest, I shall be fighting fit again in no time.
Take off your clothes.
What?
Gosetsu, is this how you've been spending your time?
My lady, I assure you this is not.
I'm gonna need an explanation, like, right
Off
now.
with them. We need to wash you. You stink. What are all these scars? There are so many of them.
A life of battle will leave its mark upon a man. Is something wrong, Tsuyu?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
But leave me be, woman. I will not be fussed over like some newborn babe.
I think that dude's muscles have muscles. They make a convincing pair, do they not? And first acquaintance, I would not think him a doting grandsire nor her a model grandchild. Someone told me a year ago that I would live to bear witness to such a scene. I would have declared them mad. That aside, I am relieved to see Gosetsu has not lost none of his spirit. Turn of offense. I mean, for her to suddenly be watching over him. Couldn't make it up. Although I suppose Gosetsu is an old man. With the way he charges through life, it can be easy to forget. Aye, he resisted decrepitude with the same defiance he showed the enemies of Doma. But no matter how adamant his will, no man can carry on forever. He has pushed himself beyond the limits of endurance too many times. Even if his health returns, the fact remains. He will never again be the warrior he once was. He has given his all for liege and land, and we will ask no more. What of his nurse? If Suyu is feigning that, she certainly has me fooled. This is no pretense. You agree. Out of all of us, I would think you the hardest to convince. So what makes you so sure? I have been spying on Yotsuya from the shadows, waiting for the misstep that would betray her charade for what it was. But her mask has never slipped. Not once. She has remained in character from the first. One evening, I watched her as she sat in her chambers, unguarded and alone. She had taken the dishes from the cupboard and was pretending to prepare dinner right there on the tatami. A child's game. Even the wariest shinobi would not go to such lengths. I can but conclude that her mind is truly broken. No, that's good enough for me. I mean, everyone else I would hazard. Aye, the matter is settled. Yotsuya will become Tsuyu and begin a new life here in Doma. Before that can happen, however, we'll need to present her to the ambassador one last time to prove that her memory is truly gone. But I would not risk parading her in front of our returning conscripts. Present the exchange would only stir up mutinous thoughts. Understandably, she is as good as fasten the chains around their necks. Aye, which is why I mean to conclude this business with Suyu first, out of the sight of my countrymen. Will you help me? We are at your service. There's no higher purpose than the pursuit of peace. My thanks. The Garleans are on their way, and we must prepare to welcome the ambassador. We will meet you at the docks with Suyu. I think that's a lie too.